Major General Roman Goffman as the next director of the Mossad. Goffman will succeed correct Chief David Barnea, whose 5-year term ends in June 2026. The nomination is now under review by the Advisory Committee for Senior Appointments. Listen in.
אני מביא היום את מינויו של האלוף רומן גופמן לראש המוסד הבא. רומן הוא מפקד עתיר הישגים. בצה"ל הוא ליווה אותי כמזכירי הצבאי. הוא ליווה אותי... רומן ליווה אותי בשנה האחרונה במלחמת התקומה, במבצע עם כלבי. הוא פעל מול צה"ל וכל גורמי הביטחון, כולל ובהדגש עם המוסד. הוא בעל תכונות מוכחות של מנהיגות, יצירתיות, תחכום, תחבולנות, בקנה מידה עולמי. הוא היה הקצין הבכיר ביותר של צה"ל. ב7 באוקטובר רץ לשדה הקרב, נפצע שם, החלים, ועושה עבודה אדירה למען ביטחון ישראל. אני בטוח שימשיך לעשות זאת ביתר שאת בתפקידו הבא במוסד.
Goffman, who rose through the IDF Armored Corps to become a division commander, has served as Netanyahu's military secretary during the ongoing conflict. The Prime Minister's office has praised him for his professional expertise, close coordination with intelligence and security agencies, and extensive operational knowledge. Netanyahu's decision reportedly bypassed 2 candidates recommended by Barnea. And now moving on to news from China, which has deployed over 100 naval and coast guard vessels across East Asian waters in the largest maritime show of force ever. China is in the middle of what it traditionally is a busy season for military exercises through People's Liberation Army, which has not made any announcements of large-scale military drills. China and Japan are in a diplomatic crisis after the last month when Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi has said that a hypothetical Chinese attack on democratically ruled Taiwan could trigger a military response from Tokyo. Beijing has also been angered by an announcement last month by Taiwan President Lai Ching-te of an extra $40 billion in defense spending to counter China, which views the island as its own territory. Meanwhile, the Chinese ships have been massed in waters stretching from the southern part of the Yellow Sea through the East China Sea and down into the contested South China Sea as well as into the Pacific. And Malaysia has charged Shamsul Iskandar Mohammed Akin, a former senior political aide to Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim, was receiving over 176,000 ringgit in bribes from a local businessman. Prosecutors allege he accepted payments in exchange for helping secure mineral mining licenses in Sabah and offering other political favors. Shamsul, who resigned last week, pledged not guilty and was released on bail. He insists the accusations are part of an attack against him. Prime Minister Anwar has not commented further, but previously said authorities were free to investigate without interference. The case has intensified scrutiny on Anwar's anti-corruption pledge, with critics arguing the allegations undermine public trust in his reform agenda. Businessman Albert Tay, accused of paying the bribes, was also charged and pleaded not guilty. Both men face up to 20 years in prison and heavy fines if convicted. And moving on, residents in flood-hit North Sumatra, Indonesia, are facing a dire situation. Last week's floods and landslides have killed over 770 people across the island of Sumatra. The town of Sibolga has been completely cut off. Roads are damaged, leaving thousands without electricity, clean water or food. Aid is slowly reaching the area, with locals queuing for rice and drinking water. Authorities are working to restore access and deliver relief supplies, but the scale of the disaster has made relief operations difficult. The humanitarian crisis continues to grow as officials struggle to reach the hardest hit communities. Listen in to what some of the residents are saying.
Kalau semua karena ini pertama kali terjadi di Sibolga selama saya hidup ya 24 tahun. Ini baru semua lengkap dari BBM, beras, bahan makanan pun susah Pak karena akses ke sini memang betul-betul terputus. Kayak bayangkan aja Pak dari harga cabai yang misalnya harga 50 ribuan, sekarang pada jual orang itu 300 ribu. Papan yang harganya 50 ribu, 300 ribu orang jual sekarang papan. Dan minyak makan pun tidak dapat Pak. Itu semua memang betul-betul nggak ada yang jual. Ada pun.
Kalau dibilang dari awal pertama tidak darurat Bang, karena masih ada lagi kita nanti ke Perambunan ngambil air. Cuman tenaga lah kita yang ekstra Bang, karena bolak-balik pergi ngangkat air. Itu aja lah Bang, kalau darurat belum bilang darurat karena masih terpenuhi juga. Kecuali tenaga kita masih kuat ya Bang.
And last week's floods and landslides have killed over 770 people across the Sumatra island. The town of Sibolga has been almost completely cut off. Roads are damaged, leaving thousands without electricity, clean water, or even food. Aid is slowly reaching the area with locals queuing for rice and drinking waters. Authorities are working to restore access and deliver relief supplies, but the scale of the disaster has made operations there very difficult. The humanitarian crisis continues to grow as officials struggle to reach the hardest hit communities. Let's take a look. And now moving on, viewers, Tunisian authorities have arrested opposition veteran Ahmed Najib Chebi at his home. The news was confirmed by his daughter. Chebi was sentenced to 12 years in prison for allegedly plotting against the state in a trial widely criticized by rights groups as politically motivated. Chebi co-founded the National Salvation Front, Tunisia's main opposition coalition, and has been a prominent voice against government policies. His arrest comes after a controversial ruling in which Tunisian courts handed down sentences of up to 45 years to around 40 opposition figures. According to reports, charges against them included conspiracy against state security and belonging to a terrorist group. Human rights organizations have condemned the incident. And viewers, let's now shift our focus to some more news coming in. All right, and in fact, I'm told that's all the time we have on this edition of the newsroom, but do keep watching for more international news updates.